Alex Thompson, 54. Um, is there any games other than the Ratchet and Clank series or games that you're working on that you would like to work on?
Oh, that I would like to work on?
Hmm.
I would give my right lung to work on a Zelda game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'd have to do. I mean, maybe I'd have to move to Japan, or but like if there was ever a serious chance of that happening, I would make the shit out of a Zelda game. Like, yeah.
What dungeon ideas do you have? Nah, just
Oh,
don't do that. Use it in your own game. Don't do that. Don't say it here.
I would make the best Zelda game ever.
I know you would.
That's the
I'm
way.
sure.
That's the. I would really also like to make a. Let's see.
God, how much Raritanium do I have? I've suddenly got 31,000. I'm not sure when this happened.
It's somewhere in between the boss of the last level and the gelatinator area. Yeah. What's that called? The
gelatin, I think.
Gelatinator? I don't know.
Gel farm. I don't remember. I wasn't paying enough attention, clearly.
Coming up with names for the weapons is one of the hardest things. Because how many names for sniper rifle can you come up with? Right? Like, it's a problem. So, it was always
sniper.
like, okay, it's a Devastator, it's a Lininator, it's a...
It's a point and click thing.
Yeah, it's a Clickotron, it's a... so it's very funny because we had... we sort of came up with a new grammar for Ratchet and Clank where we could just make shit up.
Yeah.
Like Raritanium actually originally was going to be Unobtainium.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember hearing that somewhere.
Which is funny because that was actually in a Michael Bay movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was in the core. Unobtainium was the metal they made the ship out of so that it could withstand pressure.
Ah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So they
clearly someone who worked on Ratchet.
You like to think that Michael Bay stole the idea.
Yeah, I like to think that we inspired whatever the movie was.
Yeah. I like to think that you inspired Mario Galaxy with the spheres in Ratchet and Clank 2's Insomniac Museum. I do like to think that. Whether that's true, so that's a different thing.
Someone asked Miyamoto about that. Someone said...
oh, really?
Someone said, hey, this is a lot like Ratchet and Clank. Did you guys take any inspiration from them? And you know what Miyamoto said? He said, Ratchet and what?
I thought he was going to say, I don't play that trash.
He actually had never heard of Ratchet and Clank, so I'm not surprised. It did well in Japan, but it didn't do anywhere nearly as well as it did in the other countries.
Have you seen the box art for Japan?
Oh, with the furry eyebrows and stuff?
Yeah, the eyebrows are wonderful.
That's not the box art. He looks like that in the game, too. We had to change the way he looked in the game.
Why? Whose idea was that? Like, why would that appeal? I don't understand.
It's just like how Sony Europe gets to help us name the games for the regions. Sony Japan helps us change things for that particular region's audience. Like with Spyro 1, Spyro had 4 toes.
Oh, right, okay.
And that is not okay in Japan. It is not okay to have 4 fingers or 4 toes. That is bullshit, right?
Right.
So you have to go in and change every model in the game to have 5 or 3 fingers, which is why everything in Ratchet has 5 or 3 fingers.
So what's wrong with 4? Are they afraid of that number? Is it the sign of the devil?
There's a superstition. There's also an old sort of tradition, from what I understand, and then also it's a Yakuza thing.
Right.
So there's like 3, like the number 4 is it would be like the number 13 for us in America.
Yeah.
Or things like that, right? And then there's also there's just it's a really, really old thing in the country, so they thought, okay, well we'll just fix the number of toes and we don't have to worry about it. It's very weird because they love Disney and everything over there has everything in Disney has 4 fingers, but Ratchet, we got off light putting fuzzy eyebrows on him.
Yeah, I still don't understand. Like, who thought? Right, we've got a highly packed, really exciting gun action game. What do we add to make this better? Really big eyebrow. Yeah, that's what's missing. Who thought that?
Well, if so, like, you know how when have you ever seen The Simpsons in Spanish or a language that
No, I haven't.
the characters are voiced very differently. And if you've ever played any of the Ratchet and Clank games in the different languages, like in Japanese, Ratchet's voiced by a girl.
Oh, okay.
Like you know, and in Spanish, Captain Cork is like, "Open to the call." Or, well, no, that's Japanese, but you know what I mean. Like, he's a completely different, like,
Yeah.
and in you know, and in Spanish, he's much more, you know, like, they what they do is they take the stereotype that we're making
Right.
fun of to build a character, and then they say, what's the version of this stereotype in this country?
Right.
And yeah, so it's just it's sort of translating the jokes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And in the case of Ratchet, I'm not exactly sure what the eyebrows and such were supposed to signify, but I think that it made him into much more of a funny,
Right.
sort of lovable type instead of, because, you know, especially with Ratchet 1.
Yeah, he was a
This
dick.
was- Yeah, and
He's also a dick in this game. Seriously, what is his problem? He doubts Clank every single turn.
he needs somewhere to grow, maybe.
I was just like, what is your problem, Ratchet? For the last 3 adventures, Clank has never been wrong, with like the exception of maybe once when he made a slight mistake, which he apologized for. What is your problem? Like, what's wrong with imaginary friends who may not actually be imaginary? I mean, seriously.
So those buttons on the floor
Yeah.
that you just stepped on, I will bet you anything that those went in at the last minute.
Really?
Do you know how I know? Because
No.
all they do is change color when you step on them.
Right. Okay.
Anything that's like that went in at the last minute.
Right.
Someone didn't have a lot of time.
There's a skill point actually to get across the bridge without pressing the button. So that's probably it. It was just like, we need another skill point. Oh, we can create a button.
Yeah,
This button will do.
Yeah, someone had to code that up in an hour or something,
Right.
and then that button got used everywhere or something like. I did stuff like that in Ratchet 2 and Ratchet 3, so I remember how it is.
One thing I do want to bring up about this game: the skill points, utter bullshit.
Are they utter bullshit?
Oh yeah, the space
I didn't go
missions.
for the skill points. What?
You don't want to. The space missions. There's one, don't get hit for the entire thing. Which, I don't know if you remember them. They're incredibly difficult to not get hit. At all. I seriously, I was playing that for 5 hours non-stop.
I remember I really liked the space combat in this one, but I wasn't trying to get the skill points, so...
Oh, don't bother. It's not even worth it. Like, I think you get like a trailer for E3 or something. It's like, oh, that's not worth unlocking. Or like, it's a small bit of concept art. It's just like, oh, someone's done it. I can find it online. It is not worth it.
So, I put this gadget on, and I thought they brought back the glider?
Oh yeah.
Why would they do that?
Well, the glider feels really good in this game. It feels
well,
smooth. Like you turn and it actually turns where you want it to.
That's the trick, right? I played it and I thought, you know, I turned off the 6-axis so I could play it with.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
And then I played it and I was like, oh my god, why didn't we make the glider? In
apparently, I died. What the fuck?
You died?
I don't know how. I landed and I died. Right.
I thought you won.
No, I got teleported back to where I was. I either died or I just teleport. What the? That's odd. Huh. Well done, me. Glitchmaster comes running back. Cool.
When you post it, I'll look at it and see if I can figure out what caused it.
Okay. It just did it again. What the hell is up with this?
Whoa. You know what? Maybe you're not supposed to land in that spot.
Right. If I land on the pad, it glitches it out completely.
Maybe.
Let's not land on that. That's a bad glitch.
Try going until it auto lands you.
Yeah. Okay. That's quite bad.
Yeah.
Anyone could do that. Like I haven't played this in like 2 months. I just assumed, I just land on that again. Yeah, I remember. Nope.
I think I did that at least once. When
There's a ring. That's why.
It's not the end.
Nope, yeah. I'm an idiot. Ignore me.
Well, you know, anytime this is important for anyone who wants to be a designer. Anytime someone fails at your game, it's not because they're an idiot. It's because the designer's an idiot.
Right. Okay.
Like, I'm not saying whoever designed this is an idiot.
But they're an idiot.
I'm just hyperbole.
Yeah.
But it is always the designer's fault. It is never the player's fault, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's sort of like the customer is always right. The customer is never right. Do not listen to the customer.
But the player, like when you're designing a game, there is some, like every challenge that you throw in front of the player, you imagine that they're going to solve it with some countermeasure that you've also designed, right?
Right.
And in the case where you don't give them enough information to solve it using that countermeasure, or you make them think that it's a different solution, then what you've done is not, like, you haven't given them half of the riddle, right? That would be like asking them to solve a riddle and then
Right.
not giving them the question.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always the designer's fault. Just look at it that way.
Fair enough. Is the Snow Beast Award still being awarded?
I actually asked about that. I had lunch with a friend of mine from there and asked about that. And yes, it's still going around.
Yeah.
Actually, you remember I was telling you that I designed the Manchester Cathedral level?
Yes.
Well, I did the initial design for it, but the guy who finished it, his name is Drew, and he currently has the Snow Beast Award, I think.
Woo!
That's what I've been told, at least.
Go Drew. What for?
Yeah.
Did he do?
I have no idea. It's probably for whatever the last game he worked on was.
Right.
Which I guess would have been Resistance 3 at this point.
Or Q-Force.
Q-Force was North Carolina, and he works in
Right. Okay.
Burbank. So yeah.
Yeah. So wasn't there a world in Ratchet Clank named Burbank?
Yeah, that was the Insomniac Museum.
Ah, yes.
And most of the planet names were named after people in the studio, or at least some of them were.
Where's
and some of them were jokes. And
I want Stoutland. Where's Stoutland?
there was some. If in Resistance 1, there's a mural on the side of the wall that says St. Michael's Stout, so thick you have to drink it with a fork. And that's me, Michael Stout. Yeah. That was Steve Ratter, an artist friend of mine, who put that in.
One small question. Like, I don't know the entire backstory behind this. What's with all the Dan Johnson references?
So Dan Johnson was he was a character artist on the first 3 Ratchet and Clank games, and then he went to High Impact and made Size Matters. And everybody loved the shit out of Dan. Like, Dan was one of the coolest people in the world. And so it became a joke. Like a couple artists would put his face in a place, and then someone else would see it, so they would put his face. And it became a thing where every game we would include his face somewhere, and everybody wanted to put it in because it was sort of a signature Easter egg.
Right.
And then after Size Matters, Dan Johnson passed away.
I saw in memory of. I think it was in this game.
He died very suddenly, and it was, and he's still young. Like, I think he was in his late 20s at the time, or early 30s.
Right.
And so a lot of the mentions afterwards were sort of in memoriams.
Yeah.
But
Track in Time, I remember they actually brought back the Insomniac Museum in that game, and there was a huge statue of Dan Johnson.
Good. Yeah, he was a remarkable person. He was awesome.
Oh, shame.
Yeah, so that's the story. It was a much happier story before Dan passed away. But now at least we get to remember Dan all the time with this, which is good. Yes,
remember him as the awesome guy he was. So another question by Alex. We're gonna skip. He's given me 2 more, but I'm gonna skip past one of them. I may not have been clear, or English isn't his native language. I said you were the developer, and he may have misheard me and thought you were the writer. So we'll skip over that one because it was to do with.
If you want, I might know the answer, but I don't think I do.
Yeah, I doubt it. 'Cause it was what was like your process in terms of like your humor for the script. But he must have misheard me or something. So that's okay. The other one was if you had to choose any rhino, which would you? Which one?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. My heart is with the Rhino 1. actually.
Oh,
Like,
the Rhino one is so good.
But the Rhino in this one, this was the one that played Ride of the Valkyries or whatever when you'd shoot it, right?
No, that's Crack in Time.
Okay, so either Rhino 1 or that one are my favorite. Mainly because it's not Ride of the Valkyries, it's the 1812 Overture, but we've wanted to do that forever. And when I saw that they finally did that, it made me so happy. So Rhino 1, Rhino, yeah. Oh no, the ragdoll messed up.
Alright. I do like it when I find glitches. The good thing is you didn't work on it, so you can't feel guilty for...
That's not my fault.
Yeah. No, none of it was you, so it's all good.